It's 12 noon. We're live on City Line. Hi, I'm Jackie Hall.
And I'm B.T. Bentley. Today on City Line, it's a psychic festival. Our three guests are a voodoo priestess, a psychic healer, and a spiritual medium.
Each says she possesses the gift and the ability to predict the future.
Whether it's through numerology, tarot cards, or physical vibrations, they all hold the key to what lies ahead.
I'm T. Montier, and today on Newscap, we get a South African update from an exiled South African.
Hi, Harold Anthony here. For everyone out there who misses their native African music, I'll be taking you on home with the latest from Wally Battery. It's coming right up on today's edition of the entertainment page.
What questions do you have for our guests today on City Line's Psychic Festival about money, love, health, or success?
The Psychic Festival with Reverend Dr. Lady Bishop, Reverend Hezakya, and Sonia Sunshine Benser. Up next, live on City Line.
Good afternoon and welcome to this week's edition of City Line. It's a very big week here in Baltimore. We'd like to make a special mention on behalf of City Line, welcoming the national headquarters of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, otherwise known as the NAACP, now located in Baltimore, Maryland.
Indeed. Welcome and congratulations on such a positive move into our own area. The other thing, too, is that today's show is perhaps a subject that is one of the most popular subjects we could ever do on City Line.
That's right. We have a festival going on today with three very exciting guests that I'm going to introduce to you now, who are going to peer into our minds and our hearts and tell us what's going on. Let's start off with Reverend Dr. Lady Bishop.
God bless you, and thank you for having me here today.
Great.
And God bless all those out there in TV land today.
Thanks for being
Welcome.
here. We'd like to welcome back Reverend Hezakya. Thanks for being here with us again.
Thanks for having me again.
And Sonia Sunshine Benser. Welcome.
Yes, thank you. It's my pleasure.
Tell me, how are the vibes in our studio today? I don't know whether that's the right term to use or not, but how are we feeling? Does this audience seem to be a positive audience?
They seem to be very interested, they really want to know what's going on. Some of them are very, they're here, they're interested, and I feel a little fear, but there's nothing to be afraid of.
Have you picked up any questions, Reverend Cassell, from our audience already? You did before.
Yes. Now, this side of the audience seems to be more the intuitive side. These people here are full of energy. They have good vibrations, dreams that usually come to pass, intuitive sense, psychic sense. This lady's laughing at me. But this is my intuitive side of the audience. This side of the audience seems to be more those who are seeking advice, seeking help, who need more healing in their lives. They, however, are also willing to give healing, especially this lady in the back on the in the back on the aisle in the back. I get very good vibrations from her. She is a healer. She has a lot of questions, and she will be able in time to help a lot of people.
Okay, let's hear from Sonia.
I feel there's a lot of people in here that have a lot of questions. They're just very anxious to ask us. And I know I've already been asked one question.
Okay.
Is this a receptive audience? Are they willing to take what you have to offer?
I think so, yes.
Let's find out a little bit about you, Dr. Bishop. You are a voodoo priestess.
Yes, correct. And
what is a voodoo priestess?
Okay, a voodoo priestess, that's the highest honor that a woman can receive under voodoo. In Haiti or West Africa, where voodoo originated, I would be called a Mimbu, or voodoo woman. Okay, a priestess, there are certain things required of us. We get to learn just about as much as the voodoo priest learns. And right now I'm in learning under 4 master teachers. One from St. Lucia's, Reverend Dr. Mike Rawls, who founded me 2 years ago in Pontiac, Michigan. Dr. Scott Truson and Dr. Joseph Montrose of Port-au-Prince, Haiti. They're the #1 voodoo doctors there. And Dr. Osai from West Africa. And they're passing their gifts on to me. This is not something you can learn in a book.
I guess because of my own ignorance, but why would one become a voodoo priestess? Why would one, what can one do with it?
Okay, it wasn't something that I wanted to become. I was a chosen vessel of God from the womb, and I was more or less psychic. Everybody that's psychic is not exactly spiritualists or godlike, but some people have the abilities. I consider myself, as I said, a vessel gifted from the womb. And 2 years ago when Dr. Mike Rawls, he was very impressed with my psychic abilities, and he thought that I needed to learn the other things. After the psychic reader finishes with you, I can make things happen for you. If you're not pleased with your love life, it can be changed. The primary purpose of voodoo was for healing, so I mix up different herbs and things. When the doctors can't do things for you, then we have herbs and prayers that, you know, can help you.
But isn't there also a dark side of voodoo, and this is perhaps the one that most people know of, where there are hexes placed on people, spells, and very negative things done to them?
Okay, well, people seem to get voodoo, Satanism, and witchcraft mixed up. And everything has a dark side. A medical doctor can get evil with his science. He can take the same drug and heal you and kill his wife with the same. So there is a dark side to voodoo, which is like black magic. But voodoo is not sticking pins and needles in dolls. That is witchcraft. Voodoo, as I was saying, is simply dealing with the spirits and the saints, the same saints that they have in the Catholic Church. The difference between the spirits and the saints is that the spirits were people from West Africa that were very religious people, and the Catholic Church did not canonize them. We only have one canonized saint that is black in the Catholic Church, and that's St. Martin de Porres. Here today I have the Infant of Prague, which is Jesus when he was a baby, and this is one of the main saints that I deal with. And whenever people come to me for private readings, they will always have to give honor to my saint before I go into reading.
Okay. Reverend Cassell, when Dr. Bishop speaks of her spirituality, that's something that I think you have said is very much a part of your abilities and your gifts, the spiritual, the religious core of that. Is that true?
Yes, I have seen Jesus Christ 5 times. The first time when I was about 12 years old. I had a spiritual healing miraculously when I was 7 years old. I've seen the Archangel Michael many times, hundreds of times. And I ask my people also to honor the Archangel Michael. He helps me, he works with me, he delivers, he exorcises. He does everything for the people that work with me. Spirituality is very important. And I trust God and consult God on everything.
Okay. And Sonia, what about your gift?
I feel that my gifts come that are God-given to me to help people, to reach out to as many as I can in any capacity that I can. And I feel that I'm an instrument that I have no real power of my own. It's all a gift, and I feel very honored to have this gift given to me. So it's a mission that I have in life, to reach out to the people that need me.
Okay, we're going to come back in a couple seconds and give you an opportunity to reach out, and at the same time give our studio audience and our audience at home and invite them to call in at 481-1313 if you have questions or if you have something that you want to communicate to our guests. We'll be right back in just a minute. Stay with us. Welcome back to Cityline Psychic Festival. We have a studio audience that is eager to speak with and communicate with our guests today, and right now I'm going to give this gentleman an opportunity to do so.
Yes, I would like to ask, is a psychic ability something you're born with, or do you have to, or can it be developed?
Psychic ability is in every one of us, and we possess different degrees of ability. It's like someone that could play the piano at 5 years old without any lessons. We have different gifts and different magnitudes. But everyone can develop their abilities to a point and find out where your gifts are to be channeled.
How do you come to know these gifts? Do they have to be pointed out to you? Do they manifest themselves in some way?
Mine manifested themselves to me, yes.
Reverend Cassell?
I teach courses in Washington, D.C. at my church in developing psychic ability, and I teach all of my clients and all of my students to meditate. I feel once you learn how to meditate, then your gifts will be able to come forth from within you. One of the gifts that I see within you, young man, I see you becoming a minister later on.
Amen.
And I see the spirit of healing very strongly in your life in the future. You're going to have a large number of followers. And I feel within 2 years, you're going to wake up one morning with the presence of a very bright light. And that light will be the Archangel Michael or one of the ascended hosts. And your life will take a dramatic change for the positive. And you will not be basically in control of yourself once that happens.
Okay, let me ask the person from the audience, had you considered the ministry at all?
No, ma'am. I'm majoring in engineering.
Okay, but it's perhaps a possibility.
I
I
pick up the
couldn't say
same
right
thing.
now.
Okay.
I pick up the same thing as the Reverend do, that this man does have the ability to be in the ministry and that he is going to be in the ministry and that he is going to make a drastic change, and he is very curious. And some of us God wants, whether some people develop their psychic abilities and some people don't. Some people God don't want and some people he wants, and you're one of those that he definitely wants, and he will get your attention.
Okay, let's take a call from home. We have someone waiting. Hi, caller. You're on City Line.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead with your question, please.
I'd like to know why my daughter's always down a lot, and will I be a success at my job?
Now, by down, you mean what, depressed?
Yeah.
Okay. Either of, I guess.
Is your daughter a teenager?
Is your daughter a teenager, caller?
No, she's an adult. She's 23 years old. She has 2 kids.
Do you need some more information?
I feel I usually work with names and ages. If you could give me her name and her age, just her first name and her age.
Her first name, her name is Angela, and she's 23.
All right, I feel that there is a need for healing in the body, especially in the female area. I will do healing for her while this program is on. I feel that Angela is going to come out of this slump just after Christmas, around the end of January into February. I feel a change coming forth. And I feel also her packing and moving from wherever she is. There is a need, I emphasize, for medical attention. But monies also will be better for her after Christmas.
Okay, anyone else pick up anything else for Angela at 23 years old?
Okay, I picked up something for the mother. She needs to start reading Psalms number 141 and Psalms number 90 to better her job situation. And a lot of Angela's problem is the past history of the home, but all of that is in the past, and she is going to get over it, and there's going to be a better relationship between mother and daughter.
Okay, Sonia, quickly.
I feel there's been some dissatisfaction with your work, which will take an upswing in the new year. And you will have some new opportunities presented to you, which will be very beneficial to you.
All righty. Thank you, caller.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Let's take another question from our studio. Yes, ma'am.
I wanted to ask the question. Right at the present, this is my first time ever being on the show, and I don't know you all, and y'all don't know me. So how do you get the pick up so much from one person into getting some insight on where they are and how their situations are? Basically
meaning that you haven't met them before, really.
Okay, I do a radio talk, well, 3 radio talk shows a week out of Washington, D.C. WPFW every Monday from 12 to 1, and WYCB on Monday and Friday night from 10 to 11. I trust my spirit guides and teachers and my spiritual sense. I have the ability or gift to heal, and when I talk to people, many times I get an ache or pain in the arm, leg, stomach, back, wherever it is, and I just go to that person and I say, do you have an ache here, a pain here, or whatever? And sometimes the pain is very, very intense, but usually once that person is off the line, then the pain stops and I go to the next person. So it's vibrations.
Anyone else?
Okay, that is also true. I pick up the same way, and now my teacher, Dr. Osai from Africa, our last meeting, he says that that is very draining upon a person when you pick up a person's aches and pains. So he has taught me a way now that you can call on the angels from the Book of Life, and they can open the book before you and let you, instead of feeling the pain, you know, it can justify there.
Okay, let's take another call from home. Hi, caller. You're on City Line.
Hi.
Yes, go ahead, please.
My call is about dreams and flying. I've had these dreams twice in my whole lifetime that I can remember. And I want to know if there was some significance to dreaming and flying. Other dreams might be about a terror situation, that my life is in danger. And it's just this dream I've only had twice, and I want to know whether it was some special meaning behind it.
It seems that this person is not doing what he wants to do or being who he wants to be. And things are going to get better for you, and you are going to higher heights. I suggest that each night before you go to bed for the next 7 nights, you put a glass of water by your bed and read Psalms number 73, and that will clarify your dreams more clearly.
Reverend Cassell, Sonia?
Sometimes a dream of flying is really an out-of-the-body experience. And I feel that this man is very capable of having out-of-the-body experience, and probably is. His dreams will become much clearer within the next few days, and he will receive much more direction. I feel also he's very intuitive, and many of the vibrations he's getting are from people that are close by him.
Also, I feel the dream is a warning to you. I would be very careful about flying. I also feel that it is a premonition that you could be experiencing as a warning to you. So I would suggest that you not book any plane flights for a while if possible.
All righty. Thank you, caller.
Thank you.
Let's go back to our audience again.
Yes, I would like to know what the future holds for me, career-wise and love-wise.
What kind of career do you do now?
I do internal auditing.
I feel you have a very analytical mind. You're very good at detail,
Right.
and you're very responsible. You are a person who likes to be organized and know where they're at and where they're going. And I think you're going to move up in your field because of your very hard work. And in fact, the number 6 comes to me, and I feel 6 months is going to be significant to you in some way.
Okay. Let me just ask a question now. It was interesting to me that she asked you a general question as to her career possibilities and future. Your very first question to her was, what do you do now? When I heard that she was an auditor, I automatically thought of detail, numbers, organization. Why, to me, that seems as if that was an obvious answer. Why would you have the need to ask her that rather than give her the answer and then ask her?
Well, I wanted to clarify that she was actually doing that kind of work. I felt that she was, but I feel there's a job change coming in very soon for her. But she has 2 sides to her nature that are there. And I feel that sometimes you have kind of the dreamy side to you, and you like to get rid of the organization side to your personality and get more interested in the fun side. And you're not having enough fun. That's one of the problems that you're experiencing.
Okay.
All right. We're going to take a break, but we're going to come back and give our audience some more opportunities to talk with our guests. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I'm T. Montier, and today on Newscap, we get a South African update from an exiled South African.
Hi, Harold Anthony here. For everyone out there who misses their native African music, I'll be taking you on home with the latest from Wally Badarou. It's coming right up on today's edition of the Entertainment Page.
Now here's this week's community calendar.
Hello, my name is Martha Benton. The Douglas Homes Community Development invites all former residents of this community located near Caroline and Fayette Street to be a part of its family reunion on Saturday, October the 18th from 1 to 7 p.m. in the community building, 1500 East Lexington Street. We welcome all former residents and their families, old pictures and artifacts. Come and share in this remembrance of our community history. call 732-7203.
Hello, my name is Geraldine Richardson. The Frederick Douglass High School Class of 71 will celebrate its 15th year reunion on Saturday, November the 22nd, from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. at the Pikesville Hilton on Ricestown Road. Come and enjoy a buffet dinner, live entertainment, lots of Douglass alumni, and our former school principal. For tickets and further information, please call us now at 542-7101.
If your group or organization would like to announce an event, please write us in care of City Line, WJZ-TV, Television Hill, Baltimore, Maryland, 21211, or call us for further information at 466-0013 between the hours of 9 and 5.
Okay, we're back. It's City Line Psychic Festival. We have 3 guests with us to talk about the future and the gifts of seeing into the future and understanding and healing. First is Reverend Dr. Lady Bishop. Welcome again to City Line. Welcome
God bless
back
you
from
again.
the break. Reverend Hazel Cazell and Sonia Sunshine Benzer. Now, we've got some artifacts here on the table, and we want to get through those and have you tell us what they're all about and how you utilize them.
Okay, the first thing I'd like to talk about is everyone has a birth root depending upon what sign you're born under. If you don't carry any other type of root with you, you should have your birth root in your possession at all times, and there's a guiding prayer that goes with this also, according to what sign you're born under. And if you say no other prayer every day, you should at least say your guiding prayer. This is the devil's shoestring. This is the strongest of all the herbs and roots. And I am a Pisces, and this is Pisces. Some people feel that John the Conqueror root is the strongest root, but that is not true.
And so it's basically to guide you.
It's basically to guide you, and also if you make up your mojo bags and different things, it gives you strength. It gives you power over people. So whenever someone makes a bag or something up for you, they should have your birth root in it.
Okay, and speaking of mojo bags, you do have one here.
Yes, mojo bags are mostly for gamblers or those that like luck. I don't like to use the word luck because luck is just like it says, it runs out. I usually use the words blessings. It gives you blessings, and when people make up mojo bags, they should always, if nothing else, they should include the mustard seed. I would never make up a bag without the faith seed or the mustard seed. Then we also may put in there shark's teeth or either a hand, or you may put
Did you say a hand?
Yes, some people get hands for gambling.
A hand from
That's
where?
a sure
Whom?
thing. Well, it's an herb and it's a root that's dug up from the ground.
But it's not
and
a
it looks
body
like
hand.
No,
a
it looks
human
like
hand.
a hand. It looks just
Oh,
like a
okay.
hand. Okay, I'm very sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay. This is devil's shoestring when it's broken down. Whenever someone makes up a mojo bag, normally the worker will make it up where if you get angry with the worker or the worker gets angry with you, then you no longer have power over your bag. But whenever I make up the bag, I always put the person's birth root along with my birth root, since devil's shoestring is very strongly.
Okay, what about the WD
Okay,
in the glass
now,
jar?
this is very interesting. This is simply WD-40. You can get it at any filling station, any auto store, and it says loosen rusted parts, and that's just about what it does, and free sticky mechanicism, okay? And this is the best thing going for arthritis now. You can simply take this and spray it on your knees, in the back of your knee, and you let it sit there for just a minute, and you rub down and out and read Psalms number 6, and you use this about 4 times a day for at least 4 days in a row and see how it does with your arthritis. You'd really be surprised.
Okay, let's do quickly the jar, and then we're going to go to Sonia and some of the artifacts that you have.
Okay, this here is simply a rooster head, but you cannot just take a rooster and put in a jar. This rooster was killed in a very mysterious way. My main guru or teacher, Dr. Mike Rawls, spoke 7 words, and the rooster tilled over and died. There was a certain thing I had to do with the body of the rooster at the river. The head was enclosed in here with money and certain herbs and my utmost desire in life. When he gave, this is the highest gift any voodoo priest can give to a priestess, and this is to make me a multi-millionaire within 2.5 years. That's what he bestowed upon me, was wealth. And then my utmost desire is in here.
Okay, now Sonia, quickly.
I'd like to say quickly that I do see people in my home and give private consultations, and I use these as my tools. First of all, this is the tarot deck, and there are many variations of this, but this is the Rider-Waite, which I use with the astrology symbols, which are in the tarot cards. The next thing I want to show you are my rune stones, R-U-N-E. They're from the Viking days.
Pick one or two out.
Yes, there is an alphabet. There is a runic alphabet, which can be, actually, inscriptions can be found in Ireland, the Norse. Many things have been written with the runic alphabet. As you can see, it's different symbols, and depending on how the stones come up, whether they're blank or come up with the symbol, is determined how you will be read by these stones. And I also would like to show you my crystal, which is a quartz crystal, and this is a very protective stone, and it's pure white light. So I use this around me at all times.
Does a typical reading involve all 3?
Usually, yes, and I also do my clairvoyance, which means I can see people that aren't here. I can describe people living and on the other side that are not here.
Is this where we talk about seances and so forth?
Well, I don't do seances, but when people are sitting in front of me, spirits come into me, and I get messages from them, and I can tell them about relatives or friends that have passed on to the other side, which there are many times they're anxious to talk to. But you should never try to call a spirit back. It impedes their progress. You should, if you feel their presence, they may want to communicate with you. So please communicate with them if you can, because they need your love too.
Okay, we've got so much more to talk about before we allow our guests to leave us today. So we're going to take a break and come right back. Again, City Line salutes the NAACP on their move into Baltimore.
Welcome back to City Line Psychic Festival. We've been getting a lot of information exchanged here. We have an audience very eager to ask more questions.
Yes, I'm curious, just like I'm sure everyone else is here today, about the future of my professional and personal life.
May I ask your astrology sign?
Sagittarius.
Yes, well, that's a very energetic personality, and I feel that whatever you undertake, you will go to great lengths to achieve it. It's also a scholar, and I feel that you're very good at learning and achieving. You probably were very good in school. Is that true? When you weren't, well, when you weren't flirting with the boys, you were very good.
Yes, that's true.
Do you feel anything?
I get very positive feeling for you. You're going to go a long way and travel extensively, especially outside the United States. Monies will be coming to you around June and July of this coming year. And then handle that money wisely, because it's going to be the following year, and you're going to get quite a bit of money or a raise in '88 also.
Okay, let's try a call from home. Hi, caller, you're on City Line. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, you're on City Line.
Yeah,
Your question, please, go ahead.
Okay, hello? For the last 4 years, everything is going downhill, and hello?
You are listening to your television. You are taking up time. We're running out of time.
Okay, for the last 4 years, I was going downhill. I wonder if anything's going to change.
I need your name and age, please. First name only.
Your name and age, please.
My name is Esther, and I'm 48.
Okay, yes, things are going to change for you in a very short time. there's going to be a death or 2 deaths around you within the next year. And these deaths will bring positive energy into your life stream. And you're going to be able to do a lot of things that you've been wanting to do for a long time, including being healed in the body.
All righty. Thank you, caller.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I was curious. It seems obvious, but can a psychic foretell its own future?
Well, yes, we get our own vibrations. We certainly pick up things about ourselves. And I try to guide myself that way.
I do not. I don't know anything about my future.
I would like to say it's like a picture frame. If I'm in the picture, I'm there. When I get out that picture and look in, I can't see myself. So I prefer going to other spiritual advisors to help myself along. If I would use the advice that I give other people, I'm sure things would even be much, much better.
Why not? Why not? Why can't you foretell your own future?
Well, it's not that you can't foretell it. Maybe it's you're not going to be fair with yourself.
Oh, okay.
You need reassurance.
So
more or less, it's like reassurance, just like no one really needs a fortune teller. You really know what you're doing or what you're not doing. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So you don't need someone to prove into your future. When that person, you just need the reassurance.
But, you know, in the short time that we have left, you know, generally give us some predictions as to what the country or the city or the state or whatever can look forward to. And let's say in terms of politics or world events or interpersonal relationships or things of that nature on a general basis.
I feel there's going to be a sudden rise in oil prices, which is going to be by all the activity that's been generated by OPEC. However, I do feel this is going to be temporary, and they will have to start producing more oil because of the demand that's going to be made on them.
Okay, Reverend Bishop?
The people's cry is going to be heard. There's going to be a lot of changes in government. A lot of people that are in high positions now are getting ready to step out, and they're going to be stepping out. They're just going to bow out decently, and good people are going to start to come in. There's going to be a long, cold winter. There's going to be a lot of changes. The head is going to become the tails, and the tails are going to become the heads.
And what does that mean?
That means that those that are in the limelight now, people that are nobody, are going to start coming up out of nowhere, just like how President Carter came up out of nowhere. No one that wasn't in Georgia had ever heard of him before. And we're getting ready to have some good changes for the government. Housing is going to start going down between January and March in order to suit the people. And I wanted to add that while I'm here, I'm from my home base is in Jersey City, New Jersey, and I will be seeing people privately at my hotel today, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
And by the way, I'm glad you brought that up because we have the addresses and phone numbers for each of you. Reverend Cassell, another prediction of a general nature for the people.
I feel for the West Coast United States that things are going to be very bad. Earthquakes, storms, typhoon. But also for the continent of Africa, things are going to be very bad for our brothers and sisters there. Drought, famine, and bad weather.
Can we just ask perhaps a frivolous question? What's the future for City Line? Not Dixie or me, but City Line.
Are you sure you want to know?
Yes.
I feel you're going to continue to do very well. You have a wide interest with the people that watch you. It's a very interesting show. You reached out to a lot of people. Not just because I'm sitting here, but
I feel you're going to go into politics.
You're looking at me, or are you talking to me?
I'm talking to you, yes, yes.
You'll make the rating high this season. You will make the rating.
That sounds good. So what's the office going to be, Congresswoman? Or?
Well, we will get our private readings in the green room in about 20 seconds.
On an upbeat prediction, I would like to say that there's going to be herbal medications that are going to be used in place of a lot of synthetic medicines, which will be helping a lot of people. In fact, there are already large drug companies that are sending to China and the Middle East for preparations they can be using for their people. So you may see a lot of natural things coming out on the shelf for you.
Let me ask you something. Is it true that more people are beginning to come to people like you
More
for
people
guidance?
are using us than psychiatrists and psychologists now.
Why
because
is that?
Because people want answers. They want things done. And I mean, the insurance company speaks for the doctors nowadays. the things that they had you in the hospital for 2 and 3 weeks and a month, you go in today and come out tomorrow. And medical doctors are changing into, holistic medicine and things of this nature. So people are going to go back to this, and in the Bible it tells you that roots and herbs, everything that every disease here on earth, God gave us an herb or a root that can heal that disease.
Okay.
Medical doctors come also for help.
That's yes, a lot of psychiatrists and
yes.
lot of
I want to thank all of you.
nurses.
We've got to go now, but we could go on for another hour. Thanks for being with us. We'll be back in just a minute. Stay tuned.
Good afternoon. Topping today's news cap, the topic of South Africa. Is progress being made? Has a precedent been set? A conference on women in apartheid was held yesterday at the University of Maryland Law School. The keynote speaker for the occasion was Menkikola Ngobo, herself an exiled South African. Menkikola joins us this morning to talk about the focus of that conference and to talk about whether or not any real progress has been made in the South African situation. Menkikola, thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you, Tim.
First of all, Menkikola, give us a synopsis of yesterday's conference. What were the highlights of it? What was its focus?
The focus yesterday on the conference was to show or express the situation of apartheid and how it relates to women in particular in areas of health and then in areas of education, labor, and family life.
Briefly touch on that for us. Again, the conference was called Women in Apartheid, and how does that affect women in those areas that you just mentioned?
When we talk about health, there is a population control policy under South Africa, which in their terms, we are poor or in the low situation because we make many babies, and then the means of contraceptives which they've been given women are things like Depo-Provera, which they are banned. Those means of contraceptives are banned in the developed countries and they're dumped on us. And secondly is that you can't relate with the mother without the children, and malnutrition is rife. And again, when you talk about the uprootings, as some of the people have seen on television, that when there is uprootings, police are coming to take those villages. Women and children are the ones who are suffering. So we were showing on those, on family life, we were discussing about especially the women in the rural areas who don't see their husbands for 11 months and a week. The husbands are coming 3 weeks in a month. And as you have seen with the mine workers who died presently, that the problem has been, we don't know how their wives have been notified, whether they're going to be compensated or what. So those things were the things which we were trying to highlight. The situation of a woman under apartheid is, again, legally a minor can't sign for her consent form. If she's going for an operation, a man or a husband
let me jump in right there. I understand it was an exciting conference. Let's talk briefly about South Africa. Has any real progress been made there? Recently, you know, we have in America named an ambassador, a black, for the first time to South Africa. Does that represent any real progress, and where are we with the fighting in South Africa?
Progress, I don't know, but at least for the black ambassador to go to South Africa has been helped a little bit by the sanctions which have been passed, because if he was going to South Africa under the constructive engagement policy, that was not going to be progress, because as you know, an ambassador does not represent himself, represent the country and the policy. As far as the fighting is concerned at home, it's still going on, and even recently there is a blow that the government has stopped the funds which are going to the United Democratic Fund from abroad. So that's a setback. But
okay, you see the ambassador as more as a symbolic gesture.
I would say we will see with the new sanctions which has been passed, because he is going with a new policy of sanctions. The situation of United States now is that they go with the sanctions, and he's coming with a new package, which we don't know how it's going to happen. But as I said, if it was before, that was just going to be a non-starter.
Okay, thank you very much. We will have you back periodically to give us South African updates. Will you do that for us?
Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us. Mekikolo Ngobo. Briefly in other news, the NAACP reaches one of the most important milestones in its long history. It finally dedicates its new headquarters and conference center this week. And for the occasion, numerous events are scheduled for the week with participation from a host of national personalities. Some of those events include a community organizations and celebrations rally held on Thursday, October the 16th at 7 p.m. at Enon Baptist Church. The speaker that evening will be the Reverend Jesse L. Jackson. On Friday, October 17th at 7 p.m. at the newly opened Palladium will be the Home at Last reception and dinner. Public dedication of the National NAACP headquarters will take place on Saturday, October 18th, starting at noon. A colorful outdoor ceremony is scheduled with special features. Then it's on Saturday evening at 7 p.m. at the Murphy Fine Arts Auditorium of Morgan State University. It's a youth night rally featuring Martin Luther King III, Carl Lewis, Clarence Mitchell III, and Sister Sledge, and others. Then it's on to Sunday, October 19th. It's the Interfaith Religious Celebration. That starts at 7 p.m. at the new Shiloh Baptist Church. That's the speaker that evening will be Reverend Joseph Lowry, president of SCLC, the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. The local branch of the NAACP is reminding all those who are participating in the Club 2000 membership drive to get their forms into the office. It's not too late. For more information, call 366-3300. And that is today's newscap. I'm T. Montier. More of City Line up next. Have a good afternoon.
Hi, Harold Anthony here. You know, from an early age, Wally Batteroo became fascinated by the traditional music of Africa, the ceremonies, rhythms, and above all, the sheer physical power of the music. Echoes of that fascination can be heard in his music today. Even though this fascination played an important role in the shaping of his musical personality, the real strength of Wally Batteroo's work, both as a musician and a composer, comes from the diversity of his background. Although he was born in Paris, Batteroo's parents are from Dahomey, West Africa. Batteroo's father, a surgeon and a diplomat, was fond of European composers, particularly Schubert, Beethoven, and Tchaikovsky. Other musical influences include the work of Miriam Makeba, rhythm and blues singers, and believe it or not, the music of James Brown and Jimi Hendrix, who were both major stars in West Africa. Of course, the musical influence was completed with traditional music from Zaire and the Afro-Cuban rhythms he enjoyed so much as he matured. His real involvement in music, however, came when his father brought him home a melodica from Europe, Batteroo's first involvement with a keyboard instrument. At the time, Wally was in his late teens. Wally became so consumed in his new instrument that he would practice on this and the family piano for up to 7 hours a day. After a few years of this, Batteroo formed a band and did some session work. It was his session work that led to gigs with such notables as Grace Jones, Manu Dibango, Black Aruhu, Gwen Guthrie, Gregory Isaacs, Joe Cocker, Sly and Robbie, just to name a few. I could not mention Batteroo's contribution to the music industry without mentioning his work in films. Batteroo wrote the theme for the Third World Smash Countryman, as well as penning the music for the Go-Go film shot in Washington, D.C. called Good to Go. But perhaps his greatest accomplishment to date came when he wrote the music for Kiss of the Spider Woman, which won an Oscar for the Best Picture of 1985. With his latest video release, here's Wally Batteroo with High Life. Sharing his enthusiasm for his native music with the world, that was Wally Batteroo with High Life. Before I leave you, I want to remind you that if your group, organization, or place of business is planning a special entertainment event, don't hesitate to write me. Just mail your information at least 3 weeks in advance to City Line, care of Harold Anthony, WJZ-TV 13, Television Hill, Baltimore, Maryland 21211. Don't let your event be the best kept secret in town. And with that, I'll have to wrap it up for another Sunday. I'm Harold Anthony, hoping you all have a great week.
Okay, thank you, Harold. That was really good. I love that music.
Fantastic.
Now, if any of you out there would like the names and addresses and phone numbers of our 3 guests, you can call us at City Line during regular business hours starting tomorrow, and we will give that information to you.
That's right. Or you can send us stamped, self-addressed envelope to City Line, WJZ-TV, Television Hill, Baltimore, Maryland 21211, and get the same information. I'd also like to call your attention to the Maryland Literacy Project, sponsored by WJZ, MPT, Plus, excuse me. The Literacy Awareness Day Symposium will be held Monday, October 20th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Omni International Hotel. For further information, call 1-800-492-0618 or 685-0525.
And of course, that symposium is to call attention to the scope of illiteracy in our community, and also to get tutors for those that need assistance in learning to read and write.
Very important project. Hope you'll take part in it.
Right. And next week,
very exciting show. We mentioned that we're welcoming the NAACP to Baltimore. We will have 2 of their guests here next week, one of whom is Mr. Carl Lewis.
And the other is Ms. Civil Rights herself, Rosa Parks, will be live in our studios. If you'd like reservations, call us right now at 481-1313.
Thanks a lot for being here. See you next week. I'm B.T. Bentley.
I'm Jackie Hall. Have a good Sunday.
Bye-bye.